Welcome to Real Racing TV, top asphalt blistering 3/10 of a mile madness from our very own Southside Speedway. Stay tuned for interviews, tech talk, and some outstanding racing. Greats like Bobby Allison and Denny Hamlin cut their teeth on these four corners. Be prepared for an awesome show. And now, here is your host, Sean Cook.
All right, folks, it's 175 laps of late model racing down here, and we are here with a gentleman that hopefully most of you know who this gentleman is. Even I know who this gentleman is, and I come from another country. This gentleman is Denny Hamlin, folks. Mr. Hamlin, could you please say hi to the audience out there?
How you doing out there?
He has come down to Southside Speedway, and I want to tell you what a privilege and an honor on behalf of the track, all the drivers, and all of your fans out there for you to come down here. And what you're doing for cystic fibrosis is great. But now we're going to get a little bit confused tonight because you're not driving the 11 car like usual, right?
No, we're driving the Blue 20, just like the old late model that I used to drive here. So very excited to be here and raise some money for a great cause, cystic fibrosis. It's very close to my family and I, so hopefully raise a little bit of money for them.
Now, tell me a little bit about the difference. This is a limited late model, or is it a late model sportsman car? I can't remember.
This is a late model sportsman car. It's definitely it's kind of back to the future. It's what kind of used to be the Grand Stocks, and they moved this division up to the late models and allowed these guys to soup them up a little bit, you could say. So it's really going to be really exciting to see all these guys out here and hopefully gunning for them.
Well, tell me this. Now, you've been obviously running up top in the Nextel Cup Series. You're driving a car with, what, 600-700 horsepower, maybe 800 horsepower on a good day, maybe. Who knows? But it's got to feel a little bit different when you squeeze on the gas coming out of two, and you got, what, about 350 horsepower under there? It
definitely feels a little bit different for sure. It's really exciting to be back on this racetrack because it is very tough no matter what kind of car you're in. But when you can step on the gas and put it down all the way versus having to baby it like you do in the Cup Series.
Like driving on ice.
It's a little bit different. So it takes a little getting used to.
So you can actually get your foot all the way to the floor.
Yeah, in these cars you can.
Denny Hamlin loves putting his foot all the way to the floor, man. Congratulations on your career. We want to say thank you so much for coming down here. And you want to give a shout out to the owner of the car or anybody of the sponsors?
Yeah, definitely Ron Roberts for sure. He put this whole thing together for me to run, and got to thank them, everyone at FedEx for letting me do it, and Joe Gibbs Racing, and everyone at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation for letting us put this event on. And not only that, but Susan at Southside Speedway for allowing me to come back and have some fun.
Oh, man, I don't think she allowed you to come back. I think she welcomed you with welcome arms. Okay, thanks a lot, folks. And get ready to see what the number 20 can do back at his home track, Southside Speedway. So, man, are you excited about this race?
I'm pretty excited. I hadn't raced nothing since Martinsville last year, and then he make the race up there, and then I changed the car over to come out here to run, and this suits the schedule for me right at the moment. You know, you run about once or twice a month, and plus you get to run with my son out here, so I mean, maybe I can show him something, maybe they can show me something, I don't know. We'll see how it all shakes out by the end of the night.
You were actually the fifth fastest car. Oh, sorry, folks, this is Chris Dodson. I'm sure everybody knows who he is, but this is the current 2006 track champion. What did Sue do to make the race more exciting?
Well, to prevent repeat winners, if you win the previous race, you can start no better than 7th. So April 6th or April 8th, April 9th, whenever the last time we raced, we were fortunate enough to win the J.M. Wilkinson Memorial. So
that's right.
So tonight we're having to start 7th, make it adventurous. We're really not as good as we really need to be. There's some cars here tonight that are quite a bit better than us, but we're going to bang along, try and get a good finish.
Now you got you were the 5th fastest car in qualifying.
That is correct.
But because you won the last race, you all the way back at 7th.
That is correct. Yes, they made that rule this year. Kind of did away with the redraw, did away with the inversion. It's just automatic now. If you win the next week that you get here, you will start 7th.
Well, Chris, let me ask you something. Have you seen a bigger race at Southside Speedway than tonight or not?
I've been at Southside Speedway since I was walking. My father been here since 19. God only knows. He was here when Mr. Wilkinson ran the place, and I've never seen this many people here. I've never seen this many people here.
This is fantastic, folks. We're at Southside Speedway. People like Chris Dodson have been putting on a show out here for years. And, Chris, you going to put on a show for us tonight or what, buddy?
If it'll run halfway decent, I'm going to try and pass as many of them as I can. We seem to always be able to bang our way up through there.
It's the 0-0 car of this pretty face, Billy Morris, is the fastest car in qualifying. How did you do it, man? You're faster than Denny Hamlin. You're faster than Chris. You're faster than both Chris's. What are you doing to get this car around the track faster than anybody else?
I mean, you can run a good lap and be faster than somebody, but everybody can put a pretty good lap in. And I've been racing here a long time, so I mean I got a few laps. And My guys have been working on the car pretty hard, so we made a few changes. Bobby Creech helped us out on the front suspension and stuff, and we actually got it together for a change. But putting together a couple of good laps doesn't mean anything when you got 175 laps to go. I mean, that's going to be the test.
That's right. Now you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors, friends, family?
Yeah, absolutely. Miners Fences. Miner Hairfield's been with me for the last.
Miners Fences. Now, people, I thought for a long time that Miners Fences meant that the miners lived there, and suddenly I started going, how many miners families are there out there? And then I found out that Miners Fences was one of the top fence companies in Richmond, right?
Yep, absolutely. Voted best 2 years in a row now, Richmond's magazine, 2005, 2006.
Denny and I were just chatting, and we've had a revelation here. Denny, I didn't realize now you've won a track champion. You were a mini stock track champion out here, right? You've won a lot. Tell me the big news about Southside Speedway and your racing career.
Well, I haven't won a late model race yet, that's for sure. That's one of the things that has really eluded me, and I'd like to have that little piece of the puzzle kind of put in there tonight. But haven't won a late model race. Come close a few times, but run second to Roy and Bugs Hairfield once or twice. But those guys.
I think to Chris Hopkins too one time, right?
Chris Hopkins, he's definitely been very, very tough to beat. And
Chris Hopkins got a brand new car with that Dodge motor in it. He's cooking with gas. And I tell you who else, Brandon Hendrick, the last race, he was pulling away down the straightaway, and there was a spin out and he hit him. But he's got a Chevy motor under that, but he's cooking with gas too.
I tell you, those guys have been really tough. I've been keeping up on the competition online and seeing who's been running good. So it's going to be very interesting to see how good these guys are.
Well, listen, man, all I can say is keep her in one piece, baby. Bring her home, and thanks for coming. Yow! All right, folks, we're down here ready for the biggest race that possibly Southside Speedway has ever seen, and we've got the great Curtis Markham. Curtis, tell me a little bit about your career down here at Southside Speedway.
Well, I started racing here at Southside Speedway in 1977. That shows how old I am. We were able to win the track championship in 1984 and 86. And we had a lot of good memories here. The last time I ran here was 1991, so it was good to come back here to Southside, especially with cystic fibrosis, to help raise some money for them.
So your right foot's a little bit out of practice, is that what you're trying to tell us?
Right foot, left foot, right hand, left
Have you been like working out getting ready for this race? Because it's going to be a grueling 175 laps. Are you worried?
Yes, I'm worried. I spot for Denny Hamlin in the Cup races and the Busch races. Have to stand in the sun all the time, so hopefully, hot day like this, hopefully that has helped keep me in shape some.
Well, let's hope that this young gentleman here has been getting his fluids and doing his exercises, because you got 175 laps. You want to give a shout out to the owner of the car. I happen to know he's a great guy, but you want to give a shout out for letting him drive this car.
Yeah, Greg Holt, he's been fabulous about putting this car together and letting me drive it. And a whole bunch of guys working on it, and I appreciate everything they've done.
That's Southside Speedway, baby. Coming home at last for 175 laps of grueling racing. All right, folks, at this amazing race is the grandson of Ray Hendrick. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I get so confused. We've got Ray Hendrick, we've got Roy Hendrick, and now, luckily, they've decided to call this gentleman Brandon. Now, Brandon, I looked at the videotape of the last race, and I saw you pulling away from the field, coming down this back stretch. You come round the front stretch, you come down the back stretch, come round, car spun out in front of you, you hit him. But that one lap, you must have felt it. Did you know you were leaving the field behind?
Oh, yeah, I know, because my spotter was telling me to kind of slow down and try to save my tires. But when you're leading out here, you can't slow down and save your tires. People say you can, but at least I can't.
No. That sort of goes sort of opposite of somebody who races a race car.
Right.
That's like saying, do you move over for traffic?
Right, no.
Now, look, what are you intending to do tonight, in all honesty?
All honestly, finish the race and stay in one piece. But, of course, I want to win. I'd like to win, or my dad to win.
Well, folks, they say that genetically it gets better generation after generation, and your grandfather definitely had the racing gene. Your father definitely had the racing gene. Do you think it's possible that it's actually permeated inside you and made you into an even better race car driver?
It hasn't gotten any better yet, but we're hoping to make it a little better this year. Who knows? We had a good race, first race for that 30-lap heat race we ran. But we'll see. I mean, it's a long year. We'll see.
All right, folks, watch out for the number 55 of Brandon Hendrick in the 175-lap late model stock car at Southside Speedway. All right, folks, Chris Hopkins, driver of the number 43 late model car, currently second in points to another gentleman who hopefully we'll get to interview in just a minute. Now, Chris, you guys are both running Dodge motors, identical. You got different chassis. Tell me a little bit about the difference between yours and Chris's chassis, even though they're both basically brand new.
Basically, the only thing I know is probably different from my chassis to his. His was built by Bobby Creech, which, I ain't going to take nothing away from Bobby. He builds a good car. But Rick Townsend, this is a Townsend chassis.
Yep.
It's brand new. It's got all the latest and greatest tricks on it. He wins races all over the East Coast with the late model chassis, and I got one of them to run here. And it's a good car. We had a little bad luck at last race. It run good. I stayed back, stayed out of trouble, the first 175 laps, and then, I got up on the Dodson on a restart. I don't know. I'm not sure what he did. We went through several restarts.
I remember he mentioned it in the interview afterwards that he felt bad, but he wasn't going to give it away too.
Well, what he did, I mean, I don't expect anybody to give me anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get it, but he didn't have to drive me like he did on the backstretch. That was just uncalled for. But what he did coming over here off of 4, he moved up and slowed down at the same time when both of us, several restarts before had come off right at the bottom of the racetrack. And we come off straight so we can stay in the gas off the corner.
Right.
And his car just drifted up, and it's like he slowed down. And I've gotten turned around and wrecked before at another racetrack for backing off and letting the guy stay. And that's the rule. You can't pass it inside. But I didn't want to get tore up neither. Right here on the front stretch, so it was a catch-22. I was a little bit in the wrong, but I didn't actually drive all the way up beside him until I got to turn 1.
Right.
And he come down on me there, and then we come off of 2, and he got into me again, and he just stayed on top of me. And I wasn't going to tear a $40,000 car up,
right.
Just for somebody that want to.
Well, would you agree that racing at Southside Speedway is just as much driving as fast as you can is kind of a game of chess? There are rules of engagement, there are rules of how to get past people, how to block people, how to stop people getting past you, but there are rules that if you break, you're in the wrong. Do you think that's true?
Oh yeah, and it starts with one, the driver and the spotter. Yeah. When my brother comes over the radio and tells me inside, I move up.
Right.
I don't turn left and turn down in front of it because I know they're there.
Right.
Whether the nose is at the left rear tire or behind the left rear tire, they're still looking. And I'm not going to tear somebody's car. I mean, these things are getting expensive every year to run, and it's as much money as Barbara and Julian and Bobby Hughes put into this car. I can't see coming out here and just tearing it up like that. Now, if it was my own, neither one of us would have made it off the backstretch.
You heard it from Chris Hopkins himself. We're holding up for some serious racing out here. Watch out for the 43. He's going to be trying to win this race, right, Chris?
Yep, sir.
Yow! All right, folks, anybody who was watching the show last year and is watching the show this year realizes the number 3 Russ Ellis is a top-running car. You must be excited about the race tonight, ain't you, Russ?
Yeah, man.
Now, look, you were telling me earlier you were watching Denny Hamlin practicing. Tell me a little bit about what the impression of what kind of a driver he was.
I was just impressed to see how well, every single lap he was a half inch off the wall, and I don't think he moved, a quarter inch each lap. It's like he does that for a living, so it shows,
But he doesn't have the experience. He hasn't run out here for a long time. He's practiced a little bit. He hasn't got the experience of this short, tight racing that the show that y'all put on down here. I mean, they get a little bit more room to play with in NASCAR, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, there's one thing about it, though. He turns more in one race than we do all season, more laps, So he's definitely got some practice, and he's, I think coming back here, tight racing and stuff, it isn't any worse than like Martinsville or Bristol or anything like that.
Well, they say it's the toughest track, short track in the South, but maybe the toughest track. I mean, I think when you guys come 3 wide on a track as small as this, I take a deep breath and I tell my camera people, I say, get ready, man.
That's true. It really is about 1.5 groove here for our car to race on.
Right.
So sometimes, at short tracks you have to make your own way, and so it gets a little crazy every now and again,
Well, what do you think when you're going 3 wide?
What am I doing?
What are you thinking? Get out front, or you thinking just watch out, or just you grit your teeth and say, I'm getting through this? What'd you do?
Well, you got this chance. Sometimes you know, in racing, you're either a hero or you're a zero, and you have a second, you know, and if you don't make it, it might have been the stupidest move you ever did, but if you make it, you're a hero, you know what I'm saying? Everybody screams, oh, that's crazy, I can't believe he made it, but then, you know, if you don't make it, what a dumb move, you know.
So okay, so either a hero or a zero. You heard it from Russ Ellis. Watch out for the number 33 car. You're going to be trying to win just as bad as anybody else, right?
Oh, you know what? I want to win so bad. Man, I've been out here for 3 years. I haven't won a race yet. I think I finished second out here about 22 times. And,
you've come very, very close. Now, you're running a Chevy or a Dodge?
Chevy.
Yeah, Chevys, folks, just to let you guys know, the Chevys have to work a little bit harder. The Dodges put out a little bit more horsepower. But if there's a man who can do it, it's Russ Ellis right here, baby. All right, folks, we're down here with Denny Hamlin catching up on old times with Chris. Chris, what's your last name?
Dodson.
Dodson. There's Chris Hopkins and there's Chris Dodson. And my memory went somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, but in the mid 80s somewhere. Hey, listen, man, you're the third fastest car out here. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good just to be competitive. I mean, these guys, this is their backyard. And try to come here and be competitive with these guys, kind of tough. So, I don't know. We'll see what we got. We're hopefully going to show up around lap 125 or so.
Right. And this gentleman standing next to you, this is his car, right?
Yeah, it's Ron Roberts' car. He did a great job getting this car together.
Now Ron Roberts did tell you that if you wreck it, you got to pay for it, right?
We didn't discuss those terms quite yet.
Well, I thought that was just sort of an unwritten rule, Mr. Roberts.
Well, if he didn't win, it better not have no fenders on it, is what I told him.
All right, Mr. Hamlin, this is our last interview with Mr. Hamlin tonight. Everybody, watch Real Racing TV. I hope you come back in September, and I really do hope you win this race. I know now, tell me a couple of the tracks that you have won at.
Oh, gosh. It's I know I've won at Greenville Pickens and Coastal Plains and South Boston, and I haven't won a race here at Southside in the late model division. So,
but what about in the Nextel Cup Series? Where have you won there?
I won at Pocono and won the Busch Darlington race in Mexico City. So we got to get some more races, wins at different racetracks.
Now, does NASCAR do some kind of a road race? Well, I heard there were some people down at VIR practicing for that. What's up with that?
Yeah, we were testing VIR on Monday and Tuesday and getting road course stuff all down pat. We're running the car tomorrow there, so trying to get that all dialed in. It looked like we were pretty good, so looking forward to it.
Do you find it very strange steering right?
No, I love it. I love road course racing. It's kind of the racing that you wish you could do as a kid and never get a chance.
Well, that's fantastic. Good luck, buddy. Let's hope that this gentleman here can get his first win in a late model stock car at Southside Speedway. All right, folks, we're down here with the wonderful audience here at Southside Speedway who wants Denny Hamlin to win. We got a pretty strong vote for Denny Hamlin. Who wants Billy Morris to win? Oh, the dark car. Who wants Chris Dodson to win? Oh, dear, dear, dear. How about Russ Ellis? All right, on three, where are we? 1, 2, 3, Southside Speedway! All right, folks, we're down here with Kylie, and Kylie has been given the privilege of saying what, Kylie? What are you going to say when you get out there?
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Now, contrary to some people's opinion, gentlemen, start your engines is not the last 3 words of the national anthem, is it?
No.
No, you see, even this wonderful young lady knows. Now, what are you fighting for today?
CF for a cure.
Now, CF stands for what, cystic fibrosis?
Yes.
And do you know that Denny Hamlin is down here tonight trying to raise money for cystic fibrosis?
Yes.
Do you think that's pretty cool or what?
Yeah.
You want to say hi to your mom or dad or anybody?
I want to say hi to all my family.
All right, well, look at the camera and say hi, viewers.
Hi, viewers.
All right, good luck. Are you a little nervous?
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Well, you do good out there, girl. All you got to do is just say, gentlemen, start your engines. Practice with me one more time.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
I think she's going to do great, don't you?
Robbie Robertson will head left. Hard left down pit road. Score's got to be ready. Watch the clock. And watch your driver. Green flag. We're on the way. Cars work off of turn number 4. Steve Zuskin looking to lead it by a nose. Russ Ellis fighting back on the outside. Down on the inside, it's Chris Hopkins. Brandon Hendrick right in his tire turn. Oh, Denny Hamlin gets a little bit of Brandon Hendrick. Hendrick has to hold on. Cost Denny Hamlin a little bit of momentum to the outside. The 00. Billy Morris takes over, trying to take over 4th. Hendrick's going to come off of turn 4, clear. Curtis Markham working to the inside now, trying to get up behind Roy Hendrick's automobile. He's underneath Bubba Hubbard off of turn number 4. He will clear Hubbard. Russ Ellis back to the 4th spot now. Chris Hopkins up in the 2nd. Only side-by-side battle on the track right now. Chris Ward inside of Bugs Hairfield. Watching these cars exit the corners off of turn number 4. Leader now a challenge. Here comes Chris Hopkins to the inside. Steve Susskins on the outside. Hopkins with the preferred line. Down on the bottom, Brandon Hendrick right behind those two. Pillsbury with a little bit of a challenge off of turn number 2. Mueller falls back in line. Hopkins will lead lap number 8. Billy Morris working on Russ Ellis. Denny Hamlin working on Billy Morris. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Billy Morris now moves underneath Russ Ellis. Oh, Ellis goes around. And we look to have our first caution of the night. 9 laps complete on the board. Every lap does count. Hopkins goes. They're off and running again. Hopkins, Suskin, Hendrick, and Morris. Bugs Hairfield to the inside. He's going to make the move on Rapid Roy. Actually, it's Rob Jenkins to the inside of Rob Jenkins. He'll make the spot. Bugs Hairfield heads to the front. Oh, Denny getting right out there against the wall. Kicking up some stage right, using every inch of the track. He might have put the Southside Speedway stripe on her or not. If he didn't, it was mighty close. Oh, Morris, a little bit of a nose tap. The old chrome horn to the 00 car. Hamlin's automobile works awesome after 5 laps. 20 cars coming to him down the front stretch. Morris that time kicks up the stage drive. This time Hamlin has the run down into turn 3. Morris's car wiggles a little bit. Hamlin looks to the inside. Can't get the car to turn. Thinking about going upstairs. Hamlin trying a different line. Down through 1 and 2. Now looks to the bottom once again into 3. Out breaks the 00. Here comes Hamlin. Denny's on the bottom of the 2. Makes slight contact off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. The fight on the track for the 4th spot. Chris Hairfield. Something's got to miss under the 4 car's hood. Caution is out. Toughest short track in the South. We're racing again. Chris Hopkins, Steve Suskin, Brandon Hendrick, your top 3. Russ Ellis trying to make up some spots. He's going to go down into turn number 3 on the outside. George Pillsbury heading to pit road. Something's wrong with the Mosley Road special. Brandon Hendrick, Billy Morris to his outside. He's bringing Denny Hamlin with him. Don't know if Hendrick has a problem or not, but he's off the pace. He's not running where he was running a little while ago. He's dropping back further and further. Hamlin to his outside. might have a right rear going down a little bit. Hendrick's going to drop in line between Denny Hamlin and the 0 of Chris Dodson. I think that might be a strategy move right there, folks. Dodson, the Hendrick sandwich. Scott Turlington to the inside of Alan Marshall, down the backstretch, the 48 car to the inside of the 17. Into turn number 3, give the 48 driver the spot. Now I see Russ Ellis' automobile at the bottom of turn 2. The 33 car has gone around. Green flag back out. Chris Hopkins on the throttle. Caution immediately out. See anybody making any contact? Robbie Robertson trying to get through the back pit area as fast as he can. Whoa, they're going to stack them up on the backstretch. Green flag out. Hamlin to the inside of Morris, down in 3, off of turn number 4. He's going to make the challenge. Car tightens up, still got a nose inside. Morris able to hold on to the spot, but Hamlin still challenging inside. Little factoid, last time these two drivers were like this, Morris ended up turned around, Hamlin went to the rear. Caution back out on the speedway, racing Jason going around. All right, it's time to go racing again. Chris Hopkins, Steve Zuskin, Billy Morris, Denny Hamlin, Brandon Hendrick. Cars working around the facility. Chris Hopkins, Steve Zuskin now looking like he's going to get a challenge from Billy Morris. Morris drops back in line right now. Denny Hamlin right in his tire tracks. Hamlin able to pull to the inside on the last restart. Not able to do so thus far. Brandon Hendrick holding off Chris Dodson. Dodson saving those two drivers. Probably saving their Goodyear Eagles for the latter part of the race. Here comes Hamlin looking inside again. Caution is out. Rob Jenkins right in the middle of the track in turn 4. Hold the brake. He's going to go a lap down to your leaders, but good job of holding the brake there. Actually, that's J.B. Pote's automobile, the 88. Denny Hamlin working on the rear end of the 00 automobile to the outside. Hamlin to the inside. Greg Fernandez to pit road. Denny falls back in line. Morris using up every inch of the track he can. Staying ahead of the 20 car. Russ Ellis on a mission once again. He's already got about 2 automobiles working on Johnny Drudge in the 3 car. Chris Hopkins out front, Steve Zuskin in the second spot. 55 laps on the board right now. Zuskin, a little bit of comfort. The biggest gap on the speedway, the 43 car and the 71 car. And then it's the 55 between him and Denny Hamlin. One car going around on the back, and it looks to be Russ Ellis in the 33 automobile. And Johnny Drudge in the 3 car now I see back there. Ready to come out, Ellis's team getting the hood off the car. Having some problems with one of the back hood pins. Fender's a little loose. Green flag is back out. Johnny Judge will rejoin the fray. Chris Hopkins out front in the 43 car. The 71 of Zuskin runs second. Billy Morris in the 00. The 20 of Denny Hamlin. The 55 of Brandon Hendrick. Your top 5 automobiles closer than last time now. Brandon pushing the 55 car just a little bit harder. Just making sure it's still there when he wants to go for the throttle. 18 out of the 24 cars still on the speedway. Russ Ellis trying to get ready to come back out to be the 20th. Billy Morris now making the challenge. He was inside of Steve Zuskin into turns 1 and 2. Zuskin pulls away on the top half of the speedway. Morris now looking underneath the 71 car again. Might be going to the whole chrome horn in the middle of 1 and 2. That's Denny Hamlin. Hamlin, they all three bump each other. The battle for second is now a 3-car battle. Zuskin moving around into turn number 1. He's got Billy Morris right on his back bumper. I'll tell you the truth, the best looking automobile through the center of 1 and 2 is Roy Hendrick's 39 car. That car is really working well through the center of the corner. Zuskin now getting ready to get some more heat. Oh, he's sideways off of 4. Morris has to back off the throttle, so does Hamlin. Hamlin looks outside. Here comes the 20 car outside. Crowd loving it. Hamlin not low side, he's high side, and he's up there on Morris to his door. Hamlin trying a different line up on the top. A la Michael Greathouse, he takes the top line. Draws even with Morris entering turn number 1. Off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Hamlin by a nose into 3. Zuskin now pulling up to the top side of the speedway. Billy Morris down on the bottom. Hamlin half a car out in front of Morris off of turn 2. Hamlin into the 3rd spot. The new battle on the speedway right back behind them coming off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Scott Turlington and Chris Ward down into turn number 3. Turlington on the bottom, Ward on the top. Down into turn number 1 they go. 3-time feature winner against 3-time champion. Turlington off of turn number 4 gets the car out front. He'll take the spot. Brandon Hendrick sideways. Dodson to the outside. Down into turn number 3. They'll battle it out for 5th. Dodson up into the top 5. Now the 2 Hendricks, father and son, run bumper to bumper around Southside Speedway. Racing Jason Pittman with some problems. The 51 car slows down the backstretch. He will be heading to pit road this time by. Well, maybe not. He stays out on the speedway. But he's off the pace to your leaders. Maybe down on cylinders. Ed Barrell going to lap down to your leaders now. Steve Zuskin to his outside. Now Denny Hamlin around the outside of the 08 car. Zuskin a little bit of sparking underneath the 71 car that time. Chris Hopkins dominating this event right now. 79 laps, less than 100 to go. All the time, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th were fighting it out. Chris Hopkins has stretched it out. 3/4 of a straightaway over 2nd spot. Two cars making contact. Alan Marshall and the 89 of Rob Jenkins down in turn 4 that time. Allows Wayne McGee to pull right up on their back bumper. They're right in front of the leader, who's now putting Chris Mueller 1 lap down. Racing Jason Pittman heads to pit road. Alan Marshall out in front of the 89 of Rob Jenkins. Marshall had a great top 10 run out here in the modified series. Closes in on the top 10. Chris Ward off the pace. The McRae Electric number 10. Something's gonna miss with that car. Oh, close call. He'll take a hard left around the end of pit road, and the engine, it looks like, might have expired on the 10 car. No caution, we stay clean and green. 84 laps on the board. Rob Jenkins, the next automobile in front of your leaders. Denny Hamlin now works around Johnny Drudge. Down the front stretch, he'll come. Your top 5. Chris Hopkins leading the way around Rob Jenkins. Now Alan Marshall, next one in line. Second spot, the 71 automobile of Steve Zuskin. Third spot, the 20 of Denny Hamlin. Fourth spot, the 00 of Billy Morris. And rounding out your top 5, 2006 track champ, the 0 car of Chris Dodson. Ed Barrel, the next car for your leader. Now Chris Hopkins. Open Speedway. 5 cars in front of your second place battle. Let's see what happens when they come out the other end. Zuskin down in the corner. Ed Barrel down on the bottom. Billy Morris tried to move on the inside. He'll have to drive back in line if he can. Dodson to his outside. 3 wide. Zuskin hanging on a second as they close in on Chris Mueller. Hamlin looking inside of the 71 car. Mueller, the next automobile for your second place battle to catch. Mueller's a little sideways. He's behind McGee. Zuskin sets to the outside. Hamlin to the inside. Hamlin will drop back in line. Looks to the inside of the 71 of Zuskin. Off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Mueller down the bottom. Sees the move over flag. Second, third, fourth, and fifth. Drop back single file other than Dodson, who looks to the inside of the 00 Morris. Denny Hamlin now working around the outside of Wayne McGee's automobile. Then your second and third place automobiles will clear lap traffic. Bubba Hubbard, he's on pit road. Attrition starts collecting drivers. Oh, around goes Billy Morris. 4174, KCM 4174. We need you to move your van. Green flag back out. Chris Hopkins down into turn number 1. Kicking up the dust. Hamlin already setting the sights on Steve Zuskin. He's on the inside. Down the backstretch. Zuskin gets to the outside of Rob Jenkins. Hamlin will fall back in line. Ed Barrel will be heading to pit road. Something wrong and a miss underneath the hood of the 08 car. Chris Hopkins, your leader right now. Steve Zuskin only has one more left automobile. That's the 17 of Alan Marshall to do with. Then he will once again have the number 43 automobile in his sights. Hamlin will clear a 17 car down the backstretch. Your top 3 can battle it out again if they can catch Hopkins. That 43 car is flying. Two Hendrick automobiles still in the same spot. 6th and 7th on the speedway. Hamlin to the inside of Zuskin down the front stretch. Zuskin up top, right rear burning like crazy. Trying to hang on Hairfield, inside of Roy Hendrick, 3 wide off of turn 2. Zuskin's car hooking up good up top. Hamlin not able to complete the pass. Look at this, Brandon Hendrick, Roy Hendrick, sideways off of 2. Curtis Markham, and here comes Bugs Hairfield. And all the while this battle behind Brandon Hendrick's going on, the 2 cars in front of him are actually battling for position 1 lap down. Chris Mueller and Wayne McGee. Hamlin and Zuskin still battling it out down the backstretch into turn number 3. The 20 car goes inside of the 71. At the stripe, maybe Hamlin by a nose. Zuskin way hard into 1 that time. Hamlin into 2nd. crowd goes crazy. Now, Denny Hamlin, the biggest feat of the night. Catch the 43 car if you can. That's going to be awesome racing right there, folks. Chris Dodson trying to work lap traffic, now finds himself almost a complete straightaway behind third place Steve Zuskin. Cars settle in for third, second, third, and fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, fifth spot. Oh, Scott Turlington to the inside of Brandon Hendrick. Almost got it to fit in there, couldn't do it just enough. Down to the inside, Mueller goes around in a cloud of smoke. Bugs Hairfield locks it up, damage to the front and back of the car. Racing Jason Pittman ends up involved.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bugs Hairfield.
Chris Hopkins, Denny Hamlin, your top two automobiles. Green flag is out. We're racing. Scott Turlington, a little bit of the old chrome horn from Roy Hendrick down the backstretch. The two battle it out around the left car of Wayne McGee, who runs 11th on the speedway. Curtis Markham trying to work Alan Marshall and Rob Jenkins right now. Markham in the 22 car in fifth. The only two cars, those two cars separate him from the other top four cars. Oh, they make contact at one. Markham makes a run to the inside. Jenkins hangs on to the car. Marshall, the next automobile for Markham. Down into turn number 3 they head. Chris Mueller a little sideways off of 4. He'll hang on to his automobile. Rob Jenkins and Scott Turlington going for the same piece of real estate in turn number 2. Roy Hendrick to the outside. The battle for the 6th spot is on. Off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Rob Jenkins, Scott Turlington, Roy Hendrick. Turlington gets the inside run. Drudge is down there. Hendrick has nowhere to go. Gives a nudge to the 89 car. Johnny Drudge up into the factor. Curtis Markham now in 5th spot, free and clear of any lap traffic. Hoping to maybe see a caution flag to bring him right up to the back bumper of Chris Dodson. Your front 4 cars, about equal spacing between your front 4. Chris Hopkins in the 43, Denny Hamlin in the 20, Steve Zuskin in the 71, Chris Dodson in the 0, and Curtis Markham, folks, I believe he's rolling in on them. What was a straightaway is now barely a half a straightaway advantage over the 0 car over the 22. I'll tell you the truth, folks, if you watch that 22 car, it might be the fastest car on the speedway right now. Curtis Markham had cleared that lap traffic, and 2 or 3 laps ago was a straightaway away. Less than half. He's gaining about 2 or 3 car lengths a lap on 4th place. Curtis Markham is in a rhythm, folks, and he is strolling up on Chris Dodson. Off of turn number 4, we'll watch him come by this time by. Down into turn number 1, we'll watch him. He'll go by the flag stand. I'll count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3. About a 3-second interval right now between those 4th and 5th place automobiles. Markham probably trying not to use up his equipment too much. Settled into a groove. Here comes Dodson by the pole. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. A half a second deficit has disappeared in just 1 lap. Curtis Markham's 22 car. It might be that he was back in the fray for a long time, saving his tires. Now he's making the charge, and he has cut it down. He's cutting it down a little bit under a half a second a lap on your top 4. Roy, Rapid Roy, and Scott Turlington getting ready to pick up where they were about 10 laps ago. 131 laps on the board. Chris Hopkins and Denny Hamlin, your top two. Turlington and Hendrick off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. And I wasn't joking, folks. The 22 car is less than 2 car lengths off of Chris Dodson now. That is moving. Wayne McGee a little out of shape off of turn 4 that time through. He's able to save the car. We stay clean and green. 135 laps on the board. 134 on the board right now. Chris Hopkins has been leading since about lap 6. Maybe lap 5. Ed Barrow way sideways right in front of your leaders. Here comes Hamlin looking inside. Hamlin made the challenge off of 4. Hopkins was able to get back in the throttle and dilute that very quickly. Ed Barrow right about lost it right in front of your top 2 cars. The car, I don't know if brakes locked up or what, but the 08 car turned dead sideways right in front of your leaders. And don't look now, but Chris Dodson has some company off of turn 4 and down the front stretch. Curtis Markham is 1 car length off the back, making it a matter of feet of Chris Dodson. Lap cars coming into play for your leaders again. Rob Jenkins to the top of the speedway, your leader. Chris Hopkins goes to the bottom with Denny Hamlin in hot pursuit. Around the outside of Brandon Hendrick goes Chris Hopkins. Hamlin will follow suit. Hamlin pulls to the bottom of the speedway. Hamlin will go to the outside, Hendrick to the bottom. Chris Dodson, a rear view mirror full of the 22 of Curtis Markham. Markham thinking about the challenge. Does he want to go high? Does he want to go low? He's pulled up behind the 2006 defending track champ. Looking low off of 4 that time through. Diamond's off the corner, heads down the backstretch. Biggest race on the speedway right now, probably. Rapid Roy has gone around Scott Turlington automobile, so now it's the 22 automobile of Curtis Markham and Chris Dodson racing it out. Racing Jason Pittman going a lap down to your leaders. Chris Hopkins, Denny Hamlin, Steve Zuskin. There goes Curtis Markham. He's underneath Chris Dodson in turn 2. Down the backstretch. The 84 and 86 track champ makes the challenge. Dodson gives up the spot. Curtis Markham to 4th. Curtis Markham definitely wants a caution in a couple of laps once he can get by a couple of cars. He's got Zuskin in his sights now. What a run by the 84 and 86 track champ, ex-Busch Grand National Series driver, Curtis Markham. Chris Hopkins has found him a rhythm. He's got him clean racetrack for a few more laps. $148 laps on the board. 2 more circuits till only 50 laps to go. $25. I'm adding laps to the race. 25 laps to go next time by. 25 more circuits. It'll be 150 laps on the board. Chris Hopkins and Denny Hamlin fighting it out for the top spot. Hopkins has had it since lap 4 or 5 and never looked back. Mopar Power against the General Motors power plant. Steve Zuskin working on Brandon Hendrick with the ever closer drawing the 22 automobile of Curtis Markham. Greg Holt turning over the steering wheel for the next two-time champ. Alan Marshall down into turn number 3. Leaders going by on the outside. Hopkins and Hamlin. The HHZ factor. Hopkins, Hamlin, and Zuskin right now. Markham hoping to make it the HHM factor before the end of the race. He's closing in on the 71 car off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. About 2 car lengths separate the two. Down into turn number 1, 1 car length separate the 2 cars. Wayne McGee down on the bottom of the track. Whoa, Alan Marshall using every bit of the Southside Speedway surface. $20 more laps to go for your leaders. Making 19 more circuits. Chris Hopkins, it took most of the season for the first victory to come. Tonight, he is out front looking for victory number 1 in race number 2 of 2007. Scott Turlington, the next automobile they will catch, the Mid-Atlantic Controls Corporation, number 48. The car is getting a little quicker as you catch lead lap cars. They're a little bit faster and harder to pass. Hopkins down in the corner, right on the 48 of Turlington. A little bit of smoke out from underneath the 48 car. 43 automobile staying right behind him in his tire tracks, and Turlington staying right in front of him. Staying green right now. Hopkins slides up the track. Those cars not actually able to go by the 48 car just yet. Turlington down on the bottom, a little bit of smoke. Don't know if that's rear end smoke or not. But when he gets on the throttle, a little bit of smoke comes out from behind the car. And your leaders around the outside of the 48 car, Hamlin and Hopkins. Hopkins and Hamlin battle it out off of turn number 4 right behind Turlington. Hamlin down into 1 off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. The only challenge he's got, he better make it soon. Lots of lap traffic for your leaders to deal with within less than 15 laps on the board. Johnny Drudge to the inside of your leaders now. Drudge will move over. Allow your leaders to head down into turn 1 without any competition at all. Battle for the third spot on the speedway. Curtis Markham inside of Zuskin off of turn number 2. Oh, Johnny Drudge catches a little bit of the fence. Down in turn number 4 that time. Hangs on to the 3 car. But the boilerplate just reached out and grabbed him. 10 laps to go. Black flag coming down on the 48 of Scott Turlington with only 10 more. Oh, we got 1 car going up. It's Pittman. Lots of fluid. Caution will come out. Mount Vesuvius in turn 4, and it belongs to Jason Pittman, the 51 car. Green's out. Down into turn number 1, it's Chris Hopkins. Denny Hamlin, about a half a car length, making a whole car length. Hopkins is going to be able to stretch it out. Off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Into turn number 3, the 43 of Hopkins leads the way. 2 to go. Hopkins with Hamlin right in his tire. What a job to put it on his resume. Off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. White flag is in the air. Down into turn number 1 they go. The final lap. Chris Hopkins off of turn number 2. Denny Hamlin down into turn number 3. Can he make the move? Off of 4, Chris Hopkins up top. Chris Hopkins!
Here we are with the winner, Chris Hopkins. Chris, the only race you won last year when I was taking summer vacation, I regretted it. I'm so glad to see you win, buddy. I'm so glad. I've been rooting for you for 2 years now.
Yeah, you can't miss another one now.
I can't miss another race at Southside Speedway. Hey, look, he was gaining a little bit of ground on you at the end. Do you think you had a little bit more horsepower than that Chevy motor or what?
Well, the biggest problem we had was the 48 car was dumping a little rear end grease, and it was, when I was right behind him, I couldn't turn the car, I couldn't get in the gas, and see, I was cleaning the way for Denny, so he was able to pull up on me, but once I got clear to 48, I could hold my ground, after I got the grease off the tires. But it was one awesome night, I tell you. I didn't know if I could pull it off, but I got to thank Walker's Weld and Jamestown Builders, Rick Townsend for building a hell of a race car, and Charles Morris for building a heck of a motor, and him and Ted down there at Performance Counts. One awesome piece. But
hey, man, a Townsend car stuck it to the Creech cars, baby. Congratulations, Chris. Curtis Markham proving to everybody at home that he can still do it at Southside Speedway, man. If that had been a 200 lap, you could have been up there maybe in second. Maybe you could have gotten past Denny. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I know I was about to make Denny nervous with me getting up to third, running, and he was running second. But, the car was really good on long runs. And that one stretch when we had a long run, I was able to pass people. I could pass them high or low. They were a whole lot of fun to race with. Got to run side by side, and that's good racing. And
that is good racing.
It really is. And Southside Speedway's always been known for that. And I look forward to maybe one day doing this again.
Well, hopefully in September. I'm just glad to see somebody else who wears glasses who can get a car around the track, baby. From Southside Speedway, stay tuned for some more serious action. Now, do you agree this is the toughest short track in the South?
This is definitely the toughest short track in the South.
From Mr. Markham himself. Yow. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for Denny Hamlin coming down, put an awesome show. Denny, looks like you're going to have to come back in September, man.
I know it. It'd be great to come back here in September for the next Richmond race, and just got to thank everyone for the turnout. That's the real winners were cystic fibrosis, and that's what we're here for, and hopefully try to put another event together. This was a great success.
Well, listen, everybody at home, everybody here, we're going to wish you the biggest luck in the world this weekend. So stuff it to them all, man. You may not win at Southside, but golly, you can run at Gibbs, right?
Thank you. That's right. Hopefully get a win here at Dover.
Excellent. Good luck, buddy. We're all rooting for you, man.
Appreciate it.
Folks, we're down here with Rodney Estes, the man responsible for putting the number 20 Denny Hamlin car together. I want to say congratulations, man. You did quite a job getting this car. I think if it had been a 200-lap race, I think he would have picked him off, don't you?
I don't know. That Dodge was awful strong tonight, and we lost bite coming off the corner. So, it was a good race overall for not being able to work with the car any more than we did. We just kind of put it together and had a
Now, do you help him in the Nextel Cup Series as well, or just with this car?
No, I told everybody that when he got away from late models, I was going away from racing too, and I'll do special occasions for him. Like if he runs a small race, I'll go around with him, wherever it might be.
Well, look, congratulations. Thank you for getting this car to get around that track. She didn't break down, I'll say that one.
Didn't.
Yeah. This is the man that turns the wrenches on Denny Hamlin's cars. Congratulations, buddy.